What's going on? What's happening? How's everyone doing? It's Throttle Talk. I'm gonna start off with a dance party. And it went like woo! What is going on? Hey, what's up? I'm Angelisa, and thank you so much for joining me today. It is Throttle Talk Tuesday, and on Tuesdays, we interview influential women athletes that are making an impact on other women who are in the snowmobile and dirt bike community. What's happening, you guys? Woo! I'm so excited. Tonight's announcement is brought to you by Brat Babes. I am still working on the 5th magazine, digital magazine. My bad. My goal was to get it out in April. Had to take a couple months off. I am working on it. It is coming out so soon, and I want to thank you to all the contributors, all the editors that sent in an article. I'm so grateful. It is going to be our last magazine, and we are transitioning into dirt bike magazine for the summer, so we're going to have a couple issues for that. But I just want to add, here's a big celebration. Gotta celebrate. 570 downloads on all 4 magazines. I am like, woo, just so blown away. So blown away. Like, how incredible. From the bottom of my heart, thank you to all of you guys who downloaded the digital magazines. I'm just so grateful. Tonight, we are interviewing Dillon over from TrailboundLadies. Who is excited? Who is pumped up for this? I know I am. Just a reminder that we will be answering your questions at the end. I will try to read them as we are chatting. If not, we'll get to them at the end of our interview. But all questions and comments, they are welcomed. We love it. They're appreciated oh so much. Okay, I'm going to bring Dillon in on here. And there we go. I'm going to wait for her to accept our request. Woo! Hey, what's up, Sammy?
Hi.
Hey, Dillon. How are ya?
Good, how are you?
Good. I feel like I'm yelling around.
Let me turn it down a little bit on my side.
How are you this Tuesday?
I'm good. I won't lie. I'm a little bit nervous.
It's all good.
But I'm like the dance party worked.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. That's what I have to do before I do any of this. It's all about the dances.
I'm good. We're finally back in California after some traveling and just trying to get a little bit of sleep and get the bike maintenance back under control.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you having some dirt bike issues?
I am not. My counterpart might be. He might be outside taking the whole bike apart right now after a race.
Okay.
But I survived. I survived like 10 straight days of riding in Utah, doing clinics, and no broken bikes. I think I have like a minor little boo-boo, but I was like, yes.
Oh, that's
Utah
amazing.
did not get me this
wow. Time. Okay, so
yeah.
I know this isn't our list of questions, but tell me about Utah. What were you doing?
So I went and did Meg Brops's clinic. I ended up doing 2 days because I'm super annoying and was like, I want all the knowledge. So 1 day is not enough. I need more days. So I did 2 days of that above St. George. This amazing family offered the property, like really simple setup, and it was awesome. I met so many other ladies from around, and one day was only females, and Saturday was mixed. And you had a plethora of people taking it, from people that already knew how to wheelie, and then you had like some amazing moms that we met who follow us on here, who are on like a KLXG, and everybody got the same really great work out of it. So I did that for 2 days, hung out there, camped, and then I headed off to Moab and rode with Mountain Standard Lauren, who I had met on Instagram years ago, reason that I have my 250. And like it all comes back together. And rode with her for like 5 days straight and just like tried to hit everything possible. And I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to leave. Everyone that's ridden Moab is like, you don't want to leave. It's so much fun.
I hear like it sounds so majestic. I've never been.
It is.
But I hear all about it. Oh, that's
awesome. Yeah. And then you're like, oh, so I'm gonna slide off of all of this because it's rock. And I mean, like, you guys up north have your rock, like up in McNutt and stuff like that. It seems a little bit more slippery, Pacific Northwest.
Mm-hmm.
And Moab, it's like you can ride around there on a slick tire and you're still just gonna tractor up everything.
Really?
There's so much traction, and it's like, not to discount people's abilities and like everything like that, but it's pretty amazing where you're like, how am I going to side hill on this rock? And it's like, oh, nope, they do it. And all the side-by-sides do the same thing. And so, and there's a lot of different trails out there with just like different obstacles that are pretty astounding, that like the trail system that they have set up.
Cool.
So it's great. It's fun. And I lucked out. I got there right before it got hot. We had our last day of riding was 90 degrees. And Lauren and I were like, what are we doing? Like, why? Like, okay, where's the river we need to jump in? But otherwise, it was like the weather was perfect and it was 70s, and we just did some really awesome long rides. And I was like, all right, I'm ready. I'm race ready. And then I get back and I'm like, no, I'm not racing.
Just kidding.
Just kidding. I saw the first obstacle at the last enduro race this past weekend, last dog. And I was like, Allie and Luis, that's all yours. Have fun. So we had a bunch of, there's 3 girls that competed at the last enduro race down here for the AMA, and they were, it was awesome. I mean, signing up for that thing, hats off to them all. And then coming up north, there's a bunch of girls that are gonna register for the Northern Idaho one. So it's gonna be super awesome to do like group photo. I think there's 40.
Okay.
Women that are registered just to compete, whether it's like 15 on the pro level or like another 25. I think they're just like regular, just girls that are like, let's go ride it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like, you've seen this industry change. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, this group photo is gonna be so cool.
Absolutely. Oh, that's so great. It sounds like you had such a blast. 8 days, hey?
Yeah, it's been a little bit of whirlwind.
But,
a little bit tired.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. So let's actually talk about that. Where are you coming from?
Currently,
sorry. Currently.
But currently I am down in Southern California in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And then I live part-time I work down here. So I work part-time between here and Northern California. Trailbound headquarters is up there, and then also have a house in Idaho. So we're up there, and we'll probably be up there for the next couple months, back and forth from LA, and then just spending time in Idaho, which I remember last year we were like, oh, cool, we can go Idaho straight to the border. No, we can't because of the lockdown. So we still haven't made it up to ride with you guys in Canada. It's killing us. Maybe in the next month.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even want to go there. Like, I just have no idea. But
for the future,
absolutely,
we're jumping over. We're coming up.
Let's plan something for sure.
Yeah. So but currently right now I'm in Los Angeles. Very different.
Okay. Cool. Okay, we're gonna dive into it and start asking some questions. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So for those that don't know, tell us a little bit about Trailbound Ladies.
Okay, so Trailbound Ladies is kind of a sub-company of Trailbound Co. My boyfriend partner created Trailbound Co. About, I believe, 6 or 7 years ago. We make enduro parts. He does big YouTube videos on content, and like kind of was joking around the idea of like, like showing fails, showing real riding, showing the really, really hard stuff. There wasn't a lot of content at that point about hard enduro riding. So when we ended up riding together and linking up, funny enough, I rode with a bunch of them and they said, "Oh, okay, well, we'll go on the cupcake ride later." And I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" So I didn't understand that. I was very much one that was like, but I want to ride. Like, I'm a rider. Like, mind you, not at their level.
Okay.
But I was like, I'm a rider and I don't want to go on a cupcake ride. I just want to go on the ride.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they were great and they were lovely. And I got included on a ride that was like way outside my level and I had a blast. But it was the first kind of moment where it started just becoming about rides. And I know that group now, the other significant others or other females in that area, like they ride with them and they ride the hard stuff. And I think rides can be about, somebody's skill level and less about and I believe it's probably a lot in Southern California, a lot of the wives or the girlfriends are left at the parking lot. And the guys go out and they shred and they ride hard. And a lot of the girls are on smaller bikes or they're not expected to go with them. And then they'll come back and do like an easier ride later, And for me, when there's so many women that were starting to come up in Trailbound in the social media side of it and in the DMs and wanting the same products that Chris was supplying for his people, that the ladies kind of just came about. So almost a year ago, actually, because it was for my birthday, he surprised me and announced me with the TrailboundLadies, and that's actually this weekend. So hey, great timing, Angelique.
Yeah, awesome.
We did TrailboundLadies, and he said the other day, he's like, I didn't think there was going to be this many girls. He goes, I thought there was going to be some, and like it was going to be the same people, and I was like, there are girls out of the woodwork, and they rip. And like, we have like girls that we've connected with in Canada and South Africa and Australia, New Zealand, Saudi Arabia. And like, it's amazing to bring a group of women together on Instagram, but also be able to be like, okay, well, what products suit us and what market needs to open up. And it's, as you know, and have more experience in the, action sports world, getting our foot in the door of something. So for me, it was like there was always a place for pros, like at the extreme, like even like pros like Megs and Crystal, who are just a level of amazing killer skills, and Luis. And there was the level of like, okay, I went to Babes Ride Out, which is where I started, and I went and I rode, and like, or you ride with your husband or your kids only. And I just, where's the in between? But where do I go? Where do I go once I've already ridden my 150? And like, how do I try a bigger bike? That seems terrifying. Where is that in between ground of feeling comfortable and learning how, seeing other women do it? Like where I talked about, like in Canada, a lot of the female riders are just like, the level is just up. And enduro riding and riding harder is coming slowly and surely down a little bit more to the States. It was more of like, you'll see MX here and desert racing a lot. But like being able to be like, see those rock piles over there? Let's go get into it. All the guys are in it. Why aren't we trying it? Like, okay, how do we do that? Well, I've never seen a girl that's 5'3" try to hit that. Okay, well, how do I get my, is a 250 too tall for me? You know what I mean? Like, where is that information being shared? And so that's kind of just what TrailboundLadies has, resorted from. And also, like, one of our big things is fails. We love fails.
Yes.
We love documenting it. Like, if you're not rolling and I hit that and I fall over, like, I'm not gonna fall again. Like, yeah. I don't want to make it all the time. And we want, because that means you tried it. And females, and listen, I'm sure males as well. I don't want to be like gender specific, but we have a tendency to be scared to perform. I suffered from like huge performance anxiety, like crippling performance anxiety of riding with new people, riding with, outside my zone, and learning to just try it because it's something funny either way. Either awesome, you learn and okay, and then watching the video and learning that, okay, I need more pressure, okay, on that peg, and I need more traction on my rear end, and like, and there's something that could come out of it that is supportive. And so you gain like so much understanding of like being like, okay, I can get this. And like that's what we try to just like love and clap everybody on, and we're like, send us your post because they can be just as inspiring.
Totally.
As like, we're not here for just like, you know, the beautiful pics. Like, we know you're all amazing and gorgeous and you look great sitting on your bike, but I want to see you underneath it in the mud, because I want to see that you didn't reach it on that hill climb, but you tried. You tried, and that dude over there did not, or that girl did, but you did. Yeah. And that's awesome. And maybe next time that girl and that guy will try because you did.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I love it. You are speaking my language, because yes, it's the struggles, it's the fails that like, I really feel like they shape us in some way, you know, and it's the trying. Like, I just had this conversation today. The trying is what it's all about. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. It has nothing to do. I don't make half of this stuff. Like, you know, when somebody's like, well, why you even post that? Or your bikes are trash. And I'm like, yeah, but we're out there trying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, some people have, and also there's a place for everybody. You know what I mean? There's a place for people who don't want to try to hit a rock that's going to maybe bounce them back with their suspension. They're going to fall over it and they're not going to, you know, make it. And that's fine. And that's great. But like we said, with TrailboundLadies, is we wanted to create an area, or an area that's created itself. And we're just here for the ride, I think, about being like, we want something a little bit more, a little bit spicier. You know, one of the riding friends says, you know, like, let's make enduro spicy, you know? So like, that's like, let's make enduro hard. Like, let's make it hard for us. Things that weren't presented to us as like an option of things that we should be doing. Most girls, you know, we don't have the enduro tracks down here and stuff like that. We don't have the rocks. And now seeing the push even in this year for the pro women's class down here in the enduro competitions, that's the step. Like, that's a movement that, and it's been supported by so many other women and so many guys in this industry, but that's what we're pushing for. We're pushing for that to be the norm. That girls are like, oh, I'm not a pro. I can't go out and do the race. Well, you know what? There's 25 other girls who are not pros, and they're signing up for that Idaho Hard Enduro at the end in mid-June. And why not? Come out. Come on, try it. Yeah. Like, there's going to be a girl there tugging on your bike, and you're going to laugh when you get home, and you'll remember that stuff. I don't know if you're going to remember, like, you know, the one little weekend ride you had. Yes. Absolutely. But we love whatever, anybody on a bike, like, or anyone watching and supporting, like, that's, you know, we're not like against people that don't want to just smash their bike upside down. We get it. We understand that too. Totally.
Oh, I love it. I'm just going to read, so I have Dirty Pics Lad. Girls just want to shred too. Absolutely. She shall ride. Yes. Jessie Moto. You shared one of my videos. Love it.
It's awesome. I love it.
Rob.
We really thought it was going to be like just a couple of ladies, but like, you guys, I mean, the content, I can't make this shit up. It's amazing. I'm not searching. It's just there. Girls riding hard, girls failing, girls trying things. It's there, and it's awesome. And like, we wanted a space to be like, have you guys seen this? Did you guys see this video? Like, totally. It's awesome.
Totally. I have Rob saying, relax and enjoy the ride. Carrie.
I'm trying, Rob.
I have Carrie 156I. Everybody falls, even the top riders. If you're not falling, you're not putting yourself out there and trying. Absolutely.
We always fall in the parking lot. We say we get it over earliest. Yeah. That was my friend Lydia's. That was like what she said. I was nervous on my first ride when I went and rode a Trailbound Co. And like, I was like, I have no business being here. No business. And she was like, well, just drop your bike in the parking lot in the first 5 minutes. Then your first drop's out of the way. Like, whatever. The rest can just be fun after that. So that's always, you know, because that's where you drop it. You like get on, you like wobble, and it's not going to go up a big hill. It's just like you doing absolutely nothing in the parking lot. And you're like, she's like, just get it out of the way.
Totally. Love it.
So every time I'm nervous, I'm just like, Drop this thing
Just
right here. This is how it is, guys.
oh my gosh, I think I'm gonna have to adapt that or adopt that. Love it. I have Adam does dirt bikes and they are gonna slay it, is what he said. And I have
Yeah.
Petite Pois, she says yes. Okay, we are gonna jump and talk about you. You outside of Trailbound Ladies. Um, are you riding all season, like all year round?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, you
We've been
never,
I've been pretty fortunate to be able to, because between the three houses, we're always riding in a national forest. If it's red sticker season in SoCal, I'm normally down here working. So it means that, you can ride in the national forest in other part of California, or we're up in Idaho, which has little restrictions. They have restrictions for hunting season, but we're not riding up there in the winter. But by that time, I'm back down in California working. So we're riding. I'm not riding studded tires, and I haven't completely gotten into the snow bike world yet, but we all know that's coming, I'm sure.
awesome.
But yes, unfortunately, we get to ride year round and kind of escape the heat and escape the cold. And our weather thus far this winter has been pretty mild.
Yeah.
We've had no rain rides. It's crazy.
Huh. Wow.
Yeah.
Impressive.
I know. I bought these new gloves for it too. I was ready, you guys.
Um, so you just healed up from an injury. Can you tell us, yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, close your eyes if you're grossed up. Okay, it's not bad. So here's my scar. I broke my radial in my wrist right here on, one of the dumb things, just dropping the bike, guys. We were on a ride in St. George during the holidays with a couple other fellow Trailbound ladies, and I just front tire bobbled and just went and just slow fell down. But when you slow fall down from a bike, which is already, like 4 feet, and then you slow down, fall into a little off trail, into like a little canyon, river canyon, it snapped.
Whoa.
So I had never broken a bone before.
Okay.
So that was kind of fun. Trying to be like super conscious of COVID and the restrictions and stay social distance and out of the oh yeah, no. I ended up in the hospital in the emergency room in another state, like total jerk. So I ended up getting a plate and 10 screws in it. And I've just been trying hard, just pushing, just stretching, everything that we can do. The last 8 days I've been good. I fell and kind of like landed on a little bit funky. And I felt a twinge.
Okay.
But it's just tendons.
Yeah.
Like the bone itself is set with the plate.
You still have the plate in?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've been talking to a lot about people, like, okay, do you take the plate out? You put it in. And they said, unless you're having a lot of pain from it, we just leave it in. Otherwise, you're going to have to deal with the surgery over again and the recovery. And I was like, yeah, okay, great. I don't want to do it. So I've been actually running. And I know I've been like really vocal about this, because I think what happens is like, I got into this like really fast. Like a bunch of my friends I talk about, like, it has nothing to do with that. I've been doing this for a long time. It came like head on. I'm in this. I'm riding with people like way above my skill level. But is protection. Like I got in this and with like started riding with my helmet that had been maybe 15 years old, like from high school, and like, okay, well, I have knee pads on, but why would I buy knee braces? I'm not that good. And like the one thing we'll say is brace up, buy the expensive stuff for a reason. That's if you can afford it, obviously. But like make that one of your high priorities. So I had the wrist brace guy, Jeff in Texas, make me wrist braces. There was a couple riders that DM'd me about it when it happened, and the Mobius ones felt a little bit big to me. I know a bunch of people, they're so great. A bunch of people, girls ride them, but they measured like all of my wrists, and he made them specifically. They have like multiple flexion points. So I have been riding in those the last 2 months now. They've been great. Like, I have
Interesting.
been super happy. I rode with, Megs the other day, and she goes, "This doesn't affect your riding?" And I was like, "I don't think so. Let me know." But I just, after that, I went and got CTI knee braces. I know that you ride in the Liat collar.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
that's probably my next thing that I should be. Um,
Yeah.
but I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
Feeling good.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, my downhills, like after riding Moab, like you have to be on it. Like, if anyone that's ridden it, like those drops come at you over and over and over, and you can't be like, "Oh, well, I'm just gonna walk down this one because my wrist isn't better." No, like
You
you
have
get
to.
pushed into them, and you just have to commit. And it was great. So,
Okay.
hey,
And so riding for like 8 days straight,
yeah.
like, were you sore with your wrists at all?
It wasn't sore. It was stiff. Like,
Okay.
because I slack at stretching it. I spent a couple nights, like, I'll put a hot pad on it and I'll stretch it and stuff. It wouldn't be like if I was working with my physical therapist all the time.
Right.
Um, but it's just stiff. It's just the tendons and all of like the muscles. But it's the same as like, the rest of your body. It's like, okay, well, if I stretch it more, I probably wouldn't be sore.
Right. Yes.
Oops.
Taking the time. Taking the time to do that. I have Slow Dirt Girl. She says, but she rode the most gnarly trail back with the break. She was awesome and kept uber positive. Badass mama jama.
Love you, Adrian. I did. I
Oh,
I did. I am fortunate enough, and this is another important thing. You ride with people that can take care of you, and then you can take care of them. It's the same as like you guys deal with avalanche so much up there. You don't go out on anywhere with somebody that you're like, do I really trust you with my life? And that's the thing. Like, sometimes a little ride can turn into something real, and you have to get out. So we ride with Garmin spots. I didn't feel like I needed a heli back for it, so I
right.
didn't. I didn't ping it. Chris rode my bike. He would ride it 2 miles, walk back at his, ride his 2 miles.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it was because it was pretty
Okay.
extreme. Adrian rode the rest of it out,
Yeah.
and then I rode 6 miles with one handed because I have a recluse,
Nice.
and I was able to just dun, 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 like
Yeah.
rodeo wave the whole way out.
Right. Oh my
But
gosh. What a
yeah,
trooper.
yeah, I was like, what? I don't know. I was like, maybe we shouldn't go to the hospital. Maybe I'm okay. I'm an idiot.
I'm sure I would have had the exact same thoughts. I have Maddie's Kitchen. She says, tough, kind, beautiful inside and out. I can't wait to
Oh,
meet you in person. You're such a rock star.
this fucking community. Sorry, kids. It's amazing. Where do you meet all these women that, whether you connect about dirt bikes or a bike or something, you're connecting about your morals and your like things that are going on in the world that you connect with, and you also get to talk to them about life stuff. I mean, most women in this community are just awesome. We've gone through stuff. We know how to help each other. We're understanding. We'll take the time. I FaceTime with a lot of the girls that I talk to on here, just like as friends, because there's other things that we're going through. And also, like, I know it's a big conversation always, like, is the social media effects on all of us. We're
Mhm.
all on social media all the time. Girls that get a lot more flack from people on stuff, and like, how do you deal with that? And like talking to other riders, or it can be anything from like, hey, what gloves fit you the best? Like, we love that. Like,
Mhm.
I had a friend reach out on here, and she rides in Oklahoma, and I'm not sure we'll ever ride together. She's tall. So she goes, well, what pants do you have that are for tall? And I'm like, okay, well, I'm 5'3". Generally, we talk about short people, but hey, let's give you some floor space. So we did a post on what are girls that are tall legged with a longer inseam. What do you wear? Because all of her pants come this far above her ankles and then come out
Mhm.
of her boot.
Right.
So the women on here are just, and guys,
Yes.
are
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so incredible. I have a petite pois. She says badass, and I have Nadia. She says agreed. You're such a rock star.
Ah.
Aw. Cool. I am going to. So we're talked about your injury. Can you give us some deets on your dirt bike?
Yeah, so I'm on a 2020 KTM 250
Okay.
XCW TPI. I have it lowered an inch. I waited way too long. I never do that again. Get it done. Drop it. Originally I shaved my seat, so I had an inch already off of that. So
Okay.
that's an easy, quick, just do it with you can do it with a bread knife
Yeah.
and a staple gun, ladies. No excuses. I do have a recluse on mine, which is an automatic clutch, and I have a rear handbrake because when you have a recluse, when you come to a stop, you're not actually in gear. It doesn't pause, it just keeps rolling. So if you crash on the side of a hill, it rolls back on you and tries to murder you.
Okay.
So I have a rear handbrake on because I can't always reach my rear foot brake.
Okay.
And I will be waiting for, obviously, KTM just announced today all of the new bikes, or excuse me, they finished up with the XCW line, and I will be getting a 300 XCW in the next couple months.
Oh, that's exciting. Stepping it
Yeah,
up.
yeah. And I put a 250 sprocket on the rear of mine right now to get a little bit more tractor,
Okay.
but which made a huge difference. Super awesome, easy conversion to be like, oh, okay. And I'm excited to try the 300.
Okay.
Just more, a little bit more tractor.
Yeah.
I mean, I like first gear that just walks up things. Like, I'm good with that.
I'm the exact same. First gear, my jam. So what is one dirt bike accessory you cannot ride without?
Okay, shout out Trailbound guys.
Mhm.
But honestly, in all truth, my bar bag.
Okay.
I snack nonstop. I'm like, I will not be the reason. I will not bonk out on a trail. Like I like always have to have a snack or hammer gel or like shock blocks or some peanuts in there. Also easy access to my phone. I keep a trail multi-tool in there. It saved me out in Moab. Like I don't always carry if my full set of tools is on the front, like I need something really easily. My shifter just got loose. It was just going like this and kept going into neutral. And I was like, what? Take that out, pull it, just like tighten it up right there without having to be like, hold on, guys, I gotta get my backpack off. So I do love my bag, whether we
Okay.
made them or not. But like having quick access to some chapstick, a cell phone, and snacks, like not being the person that bonks on the ride is like it's big. Like
Mhm.
just stay hydrated, stay fueling the whole ride. That
Totally.
would be it. Yeah.
Cool. Love it. Love it.
Besides
Uh,
helmet and gloves and like,
yeah,
boots and don't get yourself hurt.
absolutely. Yeah, love it. I think that's such a great accessory. So how did you get into dirt biking?
Oh gosh. I rode in high school. And by rode, I mean I borrowed a kid's 85 and never gave it back to him at the barn. And I had one of our grooms teach me in the grass field, and I don't know why. I'd always just been, you know, it's just like drawn to something. Do you ever like to drawn to something? And then a lot of dudes I was around, big motorheads. I always dated a guy that was riding a street bike. I ended up getting my street bike license and going to Babes Ride Out by myself with knowing one person in LA. Terrifying.
Yeah.
Um, and met the most amazing people. The same community of women, and it was 1,500 women out in the desert, and it was so much fun. And then they're saying, "Oh, well, we've got Babes right out in the dirt," and I was like, "Well, great, let's go rent some bikes." So rented a 150, and I just caught on again.
Yeah.
And this was probably in 3 years ago, 4 years ago,
Okay.
3
Okay.
years ago. And so and then left that and bought a one CRF 150 down here and rode maybe like a handful of times. And then I just was like, I know I need a bigger bike. Like if I'm gonna ride Idaho, which when I'm up there, that's where a lot of people rode, like it's hard on a smaller bike. The terrain is steeper. And I want to just ride harder. So I ended up messaging Megs and I messaged Lauren and was like, hey guys, what do you think I should do? And just ask questions. And if you want an opinion, ask anybody in the motorcycle community because you're going to get a lot of them. And then at a certain point, you
Totally.
just got to go. You just got to full send and be like, all right, give me a 250 because these two girls said this and this person said this. You can always get a new one. But yeah, it was basically just Idaho. There was a private track at home, and I just like followed a bunch of dudes around on it, probably going 0 miles an hour, just getting lapped by 10-year-olds. But yeah. And I still ride my street bike when I'm not super busy.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say, yeah, I think it will be 2 years, or it was exactly 2 years that I went to Babes in the Dirt as well.
And I think I missed you guys.
5.
I didn't go like the last, yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's
hopefully this fall.
yes, I know. I would love to go, but again,
Yeah. Yeah.
who knows?
It'll happen again.
It's so much fun. It was so much fun. Yeah, recommend
And if you
everyone
haven't
going.
been, like, I recommend like any camp out, any event, like, you know, male and female, like cool, but like a woman's camp out and a woman's training class, an event, it's just a different learning. It's just a different feel to it. It's not like, sorry guys, it's not more fun, but it kind of is. Um, it is, it's just a different mentality that we put ourselves in. It's a different space. And definitely, I always suggest, even if you don't know anybody at a clinic, it doesn't matter. Focus on you. At an event, you will meet so many women. You leave each event knowing so many people. And I know a lot of girls on this have met each other there and have connected in person. And you go on a ride and you hang out. And yeah,
Totally.
they're
And it's
awesome. I
just,
love the Babes events.
yes, absolutely. And it's just like, yes, we need that. We need that. And especially now more than ever, we need those events to happen for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure. Cool. Okay. So do you have any dirt bike heroes?
Okay, everybody that tries something, everybody that I see a video of, specifically, I can't name every person I follow and all the followers on this, mainly because I didn't grow up in the moto world. It wasn't like I had like, people that I looked up to as much, but like it'll be that one time that like Luis makes it up a hill climb, and it'll be that one time that Dane makes me laugh at an event. It'll be anything. It'll be when you sent me that video of you riding around with your daughter at the MX track the other day. Like, that's awesome. Like, moms that ride with their kids, like Sarah, like that's amazing. Like, anyone that creates a space for other women in this is awesome. Like, I can look at riders like, my partner Chris and be like, holy cow. And I can watch, Megs for hours the other night, just like, whoop, whoop, like just over things. And it's awesome. But then I can see women that ride in Israel and look at like the social side of that and in other countries and just be like, wow. So everybody's
Yes.
a hero.
Oh, what a great answer. Love it. And let's talk about your dirt bike gang. Do you have a group of friends that you ride with all the time?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of just depends on where I am. Like,
Okay.
if I'm riding in Idaho, I'm riding with probably some other girls. If we're riding in Montana, it's another group. A lot of us travel around Northern California. There's a bunch of girls that ride up there now, and it's growing and growing and growing. It's kind of been like the cool thing about TrailboundLadies is I've had people hit me up and be like, hey, I'm traveling to such and such. Who do you know that lives around there? Okay, well, I know this person lives in Texas. I know this person's in Florida. I know these girls are up in New York. And I can kind of like hook them up. Like, listen, and everybody's choice to link up or not. I'm not, like going to be the blind date service app. But I had this event where we went to Chicks That Rip up in Idaho, northern Idaho, and then we were traveling down through Montana. And I wanted Chris to go on a bunch of rides with the guys. And I sent a message to two girls that I had met there who I'd only hung out with the weekend. They kind of knew my skills. I was way below them. And I was like, hi, can I go on I'm going to be in this area. Do you want to take me? And I went on 2 separate amazing rides with Megan and Chrissy Marks. And they took me on some killer rides. Just out of the kindness of their hearts, we had a great freaking day. So, being able to get the confidence to go and ride with some, new people And like allowing other girls to do that and them being like, hey, I'm just getting into this. I'm in NorCal. Okay, who should I like? Do you know anybody? Yeah, I do. I know 6 girls. Let me link you up. I'm like having other girls where you all ride.
Yeah. It's the connections.
I ride with a bunch of you. I ride with a bunch of awesome girls and guys. I ride with some of the Wolf and Drill guys who are like super supportive of everything that we do. And, you know, a bunch of Trailbound guys and like everybody.
Awesome. Great. And what about your favorite style of riding?
I would probably say more of like the rocks. Okay, well, there's probably a difference between like what I like to ride and what I'm good at, or maybe, I don't know. I like getting more into the rocks and the technical stuff lately.
Okay.
I find that I get bored if it's too I'm not good at tracks, guys. I'm not. Terrible. Shout out to you guys. I get bored going in circle. Anything fast in the desert, I will probably get hurt. Yep. Sign me up for that. But I had a lot of fun. I did the Biltwell 100, got totally hurt in the first lap, still had a blast. But I think like roots, rocks, single track, anything that where you have to actually like start focusing on what the technique that you're going to actually use to get over that, and then sessioning stuff. Who knew that I wanted to keep going in a circle to try to hit the same rock a different way? Lauren and I spent the last week doing that out in Moab, and she's like, nobody slows down to do this with me. And I'm like, let's record it. Let's just keep looking at it. All right, what if you slide a little bit more back? What if you throttle at a different spot? So I think logs, rocks, all the carnage stuff.
Yes, absolutely. And I actually love that you took the time to like session one obstacle. I think that's so important to do, you know, rather than like, and don't get me wrong, I love doing trail rides and all that stuff, but sometimes it's just like, I just want to focus on one obstacle and get the technique than like doing a big ride just to like,
we can do 70 miles. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, we can do 70 miles. We can all run out of the gas. We can do an 8-hour ride where I come back and I'm like, I'm too tired.
Yeah.
But Lauren and I spent that trail ride, which was 30 miles, just doing hot laps up one ledge, down another ledge. Okay, we got good on that. Let's go to another section. Let's try to get better and better. And this is actually like, thanks to, I spent 2 days with Megs working on some stuff. I was able to leave a clinic and go and continue to try things.
Yes.
Which was great because I got to put into work what I had picked up with Megs, and I was able to just like keep working on it so that maybe then I can put it into work if I'm trying to actually go on a longer ride or we're trying to like keep up the speed. Everyone feels like, oh, you don't want to slow people down and they don't want to stay around. I guess I kind of ride in a world with Chris mainly where sessions is kind of his thing. So I feel fortunate where like I would get to watch him. If he's dressed before anyone else, you guys, he'll be hitting logs in the parking lot and like doing his wheelies and stuff like that. And that's how he learned, was because like Megs will say the same thing, you know, if you're waiting on your crew, you should be static balancing, you know, and he was always waiting on his crew and he was, you know, doing wheelies and he was learning how to do pivot turns. And it's like, little bits of practice, I think, add up and we forget that. We get so rushed to get in there and get on a single track and like get to a lunch spot. And it's like, we all love to just hang out. And how are we going to learn to be pivot turning like Christine? Like, we got to like keep practice in there.
Totally. Absolutely. I have Steph Schwartz. She says, this has got me so excited to road trip on the summer with bikes. Let's load up when we can, Angelisa, and head south. Trailbound ladies, here we come. And
do it.
Jesse says, count me in.
we got like the whole north come south.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing, honestly.
And everyone's always invited.
Absolutely.
You know, and if it's in a space and we can link up, you know, we're always like, if somebody hits me up and they're like, hey, do you want to ride? Like on the way back from St. George, I rode up with Trail Zeros with Allie Gunn. Like I've always talked to them and I finally got a ride with them. It was so much fun. We rode to a waterfall and sat there and had lunch. And then it was killer. Like riding with different people, and it was perfect. And, you know, the first thing she said, she's like, oh, you can pass me. I'm slow. And I'm like, I am so happy Like, I don't care. Like, I'm not here to win the desert race, guys. I don't. I fail at that. I'm just here to have a great fucking time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. You have such great vibes. I love it.
Oh,
Like such a good vibe.
thanks.
Okay, we're gonna talk a little bit about off dirt events.
Okay.
So what do you do mentally and physically to prepare for like a big dirt bike adventure?
Well, this was a big event, so I ate a bunch of chips right before it.
Okay. I saw it. I saw the
No,
photo.
no, no. I don't know because I guess I'm not really like a professional competitor, you know, like there's so many girls on here who train properly and like who prepare so much, and I will flat out be like, I work 90 hours, so if I go on a weekend, it is me trying to leave at lunchtime offset with my truck loaded and try to get there while sending a call sheet in the dark. I think we sat on the line, which was like my first race line at Beltwell, and I was trying to dance like on my bike. And like Corinne was next to me from Outwild, and she was just probably like, "Oh God, tell him just go away." And I was just, I don't know, I don't know what to do with my hands. Like I'm terrible. Like I will beat you. Probably your next question is, "Do you work out?" No, I don't.
Yes, it is. It
I
is.
wish. I wish I had more time.
Uh,
Yes, I love yoga. We went on a bike ride. I got drunk out of bed this morning. Went on a bike ride down the Santa Monica Pier. Came back and was like, "Oh, I need a nap. Like, I need a nap. I might be tired from my trip."
totally.
Um, I wish that, and I know everyone's like, you can make the time. My job when I am working is very strenuous, or it's very tasking of
Mhm.
me, physically and emotionally. I only get like 5 hours sleep, so it's kind of like I ride to work out. Like I
Yes.
ride on my weekends to work out. I don't have the ability to go to a gym. Um, I wish I did because deadlifting my bike 25 times on a ride would be so much easier if I was in as much shape as Courtney and all those girls. Like, ha. But, you know, I'm also having that coming to Jesus moment with my 30-some-year-old body and, you know, normalizing normal bodies. And for me, I'm like, it is what it is. I ride on the weekends. Could I be more fit? Yes. Am I going to be? Probably not. But
But you
you
know
know,
what?
I
You
just need
just
to
said
stretch my wrist.
yes. And I think mobility, stretching, it all counts. And
Yeah.
you said it though, like dirt biking is a workout in itself, right? Like it's
So much.
it's not
Anyone
a
that tells you it's not, never been
uh,
on a ride with us.
exactly. It's like I'm sorry. Do you ride? Do you dirt
I'm
bike?
more,
Like
I need the week. I think Chris' favorite thing is he goes, the week is the recovery. Your work
yes.
week's your recovery from your weekend of dirt bike riding
Yes.
and lifting the bike up and getting, you know, like we get them in some peculiar little positions. All of us, we're moto yogaing. Like there's a lot of moto yoga photos like out there of us, like legs up in the air. You know how strenuous it is. Crystal understood this. She did the video of putting on the clothing and getting ready for dirt biking. You know how strenuous it is putting on Dakar pants over padded shorts and knee braces. The whole workout,
Totally.
like a jazzercise class.
Oh my gosh, I can't agree anymore. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, we're gonna go down to challenges and struggles and pains. What is one thing that you're struggling with or currently struggling with when it comes to dirt biking?
Um, my bike's running a little rich, and I got to figure that out.
Okay.
Blech. Um, the wrist healing was good. I mean, I think the biggest thing for me, and my mom, my mom would tell you this 100%, is like I literally had such bad performance anxiety. Like riding in front of other people, like the first time I went, like Chris jokes that like the reason that I linked up with him is because of my mom, because she made me go and Lydia made me
Aw.
go. Because I was terrified. And now when I go and I meet up and I ride with somebody new, like Allie last weekend, or I'll go ride with Lauren and Adam and, you know, from Ride Moab Industries and stuff. And like, riding with new people was my like biggest struggle. And now I love it. And I think that this community has given me a feeling of feeling comfortable to fail. Like where it's not a big deal. If you show up and like you ride, like we all say this, ride your own ride, right? You show up, you don't match the pace of the other people. You ride your ride. They invited you. Everyone just wants you to have fun. So if you go there and you laugh when you fall down, you know, and you don't get mad at somebody else or mad at the rock for being in the wrong way, you know, like that was what I learned is you get invited back, you know, like because you're a fun person to be around, even when it's stressful and even when you're tired. So that had given me the confidence to like keep riding with more new people and like hopefully more women on this community and stuff. But my struggle for this season will be figuring out my schedule for work in LA and how I can really only dirt bike and not have to work.
Right.
So, you know, if anyone wants to like full-time sponsor my life, yeah, I'm cool. I'm available. I'm not sure I'm really into like sliding my DMs with like some weird foot fetish thing, but like, you know, you just want to sponsor me so I don't have to come back to LA.
Oh, I hear ya. Hey, that'd be great.
Right?
Just great. Okay, let's chat future Dillon. So what is one thing you plan on doing this dirt bike season that you didn't get to last year or last season? I guess your season's all year round, but
yeah, but
you know
it's
what
still
I mean.
like it's like a summer. Like we're about to start out and we're about to go to Idaho.
Yeah.
This season, I think I would have been stupid enough to try to compete in all the enduros this year. I think my wrist set me back a little bit, so I'm trying to like. Although there are a couple of the girls on here that are pushing real hard for me to compete in Idaho and Donner, but I think that hopefully it's just getting more skills. I will say for the first time, don't be surprised, guys. I've never done wheelies. I've never been able to get my front tire up. I've had it explained to me a bunch of different ways. I did the Meg's clinic and sucker was up in the air.
No way.
And I was like, oh my God. And she's like, what? It was like this match. No, I'm joking. She's so supportive. And I'm like, I'm so ridiculously excited. But because, and then I got to annoy her the rest of the week sending her photos of like, that meant that I could now get my tire to hit an obstacle properly to allow the suspension to work instead of just blasting through things.
Totally.
So being able to now work on that and work on wheelies and not 12 o'clock, but actual wheel placement for the rest of this season is going, it opens up all the doors.
Mm-hmm.
You get to work on like actual, pivot turns and stuff like that, which are useful. It's not just because we take really cool photos.
Totally. Yep. Absolutely. I agree. And even if you just get your tire up a little bit, just how much more
it's so helpful.
Yeah.
It's so needed on the trail, whether so being able to do that on cue after I've spent some, the last year just like been like, well, shit, I can blast into that thing. But like actually being able to like have proper technique and know when to do it when I just watch all these people. And I think a lot of girls online see that. They're like, oh, well, these girls are 12 o'clock and they're amazing and they're already pivot turning. Yes, they practice. And they do. They put in so much work. So we know you can get it. Because at one point they didn't either, and I didn't, and I got it a week and a half ago, and it might be this big, but I'm pretty stoked about it.
Totally, as you should be. That's so awesome. But you're right. Everyone starts somewhere, right? Like no one's like just popping wheelies on their first day. Like you all start.
Meg said it took her like, and I mean, don't yell at me if it's wrong. It's like 6 years of riding because she had nobody tell her or teach her. And so just because somebody explains it to you one day, it's not clicking, ask everyone else, what is their technique? Because maybe their technique might be different than your husband's, your riding partner's, another girl online. Like it might be different than another video from Rich Larson might click with you versus like somebody else might click with you online about how to explain it to you. And, like Chris might explain it different than Meg does. And like the more ideas you get, the more you can understand it later in the future too. Even if it's not clicking right now.
Yeah. Absolutely, I agree. Okay, would you say you put a lot of pressure on yourself when it comes to riding? You pretty much answered this question already, but
Like, sure, yeah. Was it like, do we all want to be amazing and great and perfect? Yeah, that'd be really cool. But I have a really high bar that is set around me all of the time. My main riding partner he's incredible. So I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna sit back over here and just worry about not falling over, turning around, okay? So I have a really high bar. He's incredibly talented, and but I have a blast.
yeah,
I have a freaking blast.
yeah,
So if I wasn't having fun, I wouldn't do it. Like, I'm not one, like, I know girls are like, oh, I didn't cry this ride. I've only cried on one ride. He almost died. But like, I wouldn't keep doing it.
yeah.
I don't stay for that type of struggle.
Right. Yep.
So
Agree. What would you whisper in the ear of young Dylan, who was just starting out as a dirt biker?
have fun, lower your bike immediately. Like, I mean, we talk about this all the time. A lot of us, a lot of girls. My personal opinion, and everyone has their own. Like we
Hmm.
said, there's enough opinions in the bike world for the world. Is lower the bike. It's not worth struggling. I think that I hear a lot of couples, I hear a lot of girls, I hear a lot of guys say, no, you're supposed to ride it. It messes with the suspension and stuff. Like, I would rather slide my skid plate over like 3 times as many things and fall down 3,000 times less.
Hmm.
Picking a bike up on the trail is the most exhausting thing for us, especially I'm 5'3". I'm small. I ride with a lot of small girls. Like, us picking that up, that's exhausting. And that's where the attitude tanks. That's where you get really tired. That's where it's not fun.
Hmm.
So if this much of a bike and another inch for shaving the seat saves me from that and allows me like one or two more skid plate hits over it, like, until I can enjoy it and have that technique to blip over things, drop your bike.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but lower it and before you drop it.
Yes. Yeah. For sure. Awesome. And any advice you'd like to give to women who are getting into the sport?
Lower your bike.
Okay.
Reach out. We've all been there. We have, every single one of us have been new to the community, new to a ride, new to not knowing what a power valve puncture is. Like, oh, I don't know where the throttle is. I still am like explaining right now. Chris explaining to me about like the top and the lower, and I don't know.
Right.
I grew up in a world where I was like, no, cool, fake it till you make it. Like, you don't have to. We're all of an age where it's like, nope. What's your question? It's not a stupid question. What what underwear do we wear? What bras do we wear that find, like, another girl and I were talking about sports bras the other day. Like, you've given some great hair techniques on how we should all like bubble braid our hair up. Like,
Totally. Yeah.
just ask questions. Like,
Yeah.
and like, you'll get in what you put out. You always hear that. But like, we're here to actually help you more than you think.
Hmm.
Like, you go to Babes Ride Out event, like anything like that. Like, the women will literally mob you with like, how can we help you? How can we
Totally.
unload your bike for you? How can we help you, teach you how to load it up and tie it off? Like, we're here for each other.
Yeah. Absolutely. Not to bring up Babes in the Dirt again, but I was
No.
actually pregnant during that
Oh my
time.
gosh.
I was 28 weeks pregnant.
That's
And
with
I
Billy.
had, yeah, with Billy, and I had the best time. And the two girls I went with like always sent me first. So I'm like the one going down on all these, like, they were so much fun, the trail rides, but it's just, yeah, it was pretty funny that they always sent the pregnant
Just the
lady to
pregnant
like go
lady out
down
front
first,
to get hit by the side by side of Gorman. Yeah, great, good job.
which actually like did happen. I was okay, obviously, going really slow, but yeah, it was a great time. I absolutely loved it.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. Any
Yeah.
female camp out ride or day ride is fucking blessed. It's the
It
reason
just
that you see all these girls all together. It's the
totally.
reason that like Cass is out there riding with Kristen. Like, there's a reason we all ride together, because if it sucked and we are all catty bitches, we wouldn't go.
Right. Yeah.
Like, we're
Yeah.
just there to support each other, and it's fun, and we get really good photos of each other. It's a
Yes.
different
Yes,
angle.
absolutely. For sure. It's a great, yeah, place for inspiration. Definitely, we need more of it for sure. Um, a quote you live by.
Um, I actually have it tattooed on me.
Nice.
It says, is it better to be right or is it better to be happy? I am a single child Taurus Gemini butthead, so I have to remind myself about that sometimes.
Okay.
So yeah, I try to like let it go a lot these days. I spent 20 years, running into brick walls, so it's not worth it anymore.
Yeah, letting it go has been
Yeah.
my motto lately. And for those that don't know, where can we follow you and your business?
Trailbound Ladies is on Instagram along with Trailbound Co, which is the guy side, but really any rider's side to it. But Trailbound Ladies is where we do a lot of the female-based content. And then my personal is Snowy Sun Valley, but that's boring. You don't want that.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Um,
Yeah.
okay, and so I didn't include this in the email, but I have
Oh, it's a secret.
this is so cool. So I have 5 questions. They're just a quick one word answer. You pick or choose. So are you a weekend warrior or weekday slayer?
Weekend.
Regular clutch or recluse?
Recluse.
I'm a recluse for sure.
Which I
Two,
might actually be dropping it on the new 300.
okay,
So,
yeah,
I'm here for the future.
cool. Two-stroke or four-stroke?
Two-stroke for sure.
Wheelies or the need for speed?
Wheelies.
Trails or
Really
up?
small.
Oh,
Really small wheelies.
trails or obstacles?
Obstacles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And I have a couple questions that came in from Treesner. She says, what's the best women's boot option?
I have been struggling for us all with small feet out here and trying every single boot on the market, trying to.
Yeah.
I right now am running the CD SR Crossfire 2. It is large on my foot compared to an Alpine Star, which I think are used to feeling a little bit more snug. But it has offered so much more protection in the areas that, for me, and you can look back at other posts, and we have a story highlights on a bunch of girls sending in videos of their boot sizes and everything. Like, I am liking how much protection the CD offers. I had an Alpine Star boot have the handlebar go through into it and it's caused damage and I have a permanent lump on my inside of my leg from it. I personally, yeah. So, and it's happened to a couple other girls. We have photos of them and stuff from friends. And I think it's unfortunate. I think it's unfortunate that the market isn't there for us yet. I know that it costs a lot of money for a smaller size in a boot, but we'll keep pushing and we'll keep trying. These boots are really like they're full plastic. Of course, the top riders are in them because they work, because they offer the protection, because the stiffness is important to them. A lot of girls have had good luck with the Garniers. I tried both of them. I need to finish putting up the review video. Sorry, guys. They didn't offer as much stiffness to me that I wanted. So right now I am running the men's CD Crossfires. The women's LEI actually felt larger. They are 39 for the smallest option, and the men's was small as 40. And I measured them out, and the men's are actually smaller, even though they're tagged as a 40. See, can't trust the market.
Yeah,
So my
interesting.
suggestion is always, and I know it's a little bit harder getting like imported to like Canada with tariffs and stuff like that, but like my suggestion is order every freaking size and return them. Order all of them, and which is what I did. I had like 6 boots in my house.
Okay.
And I might still try some more. I might try the TA, which is a wider foot box for the CDs. But we're trying to just really it's hard. They're expensive. Nobody wants to spend $600 on something that doesn't work.
Yeah.
But I tried 2 other Alpine Stars. I tried the women's LEI CDs. So that's where I am right now.
Okay. Okay, cool. A-Hop, best body armor, chest protector for women, especially in the hot summer.
So I right now am running the Liette Jackie. There's a couple of us that have that. It's hard, you're putting an extra layer on you. I have honestly cut with a knife most of the padding. It has side rib padding on that one, and I cut it out. Do not warranty this product. I cut a lot of the padding out on that was extra. I carry a backpack. I run a backpack, so I didn't need as much of the back padding on there. But I didn't want to always have to take off my backpack because like Liette makes one that's connected and stuff at the same time as the chest. But that one seemed to fit my bust as well. I'm like a 36D, so I'm pretty broad and I'm short, and so that one fit the best. I know a lot of people like the Air Armor that's a little bit more close. I felt that there was less breathability in that, and it didn't fit me. I'm short, so some of those, it's the same thing though. Order them all. Order them all. I had like 6 Liette chest protectors in my house. I had 2 Fox ones. Try them on. Try them on. Run around your house, do some jumping jacks. You'll see where it cuts into your sides a little bit more. But that's what we always suggest is like order them, try them on, like return them. Like most of these companies have really good return policies.
Right. For sure. Okay, and then Anna Buckland, she says, what is it like adminning a page that brings so many women together?
Oh my gosh. It's really good. And then there's weeks where I'm just too tired. I will admit that. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you know that are, constantly on social media. We know that it beats us up. And some weeks I'm stressed at work and I'm not putting up enough posts. I try to post daily, but I try to always not just I don't want to just shoot something up that I don't not inspired by that video. And one day a video might get me and the other day it might not. But it's been pretty freaking cool to see the feedback of the girls connecting and other girls finding each other on this page. And that's why we do a lot. I have a good teacher with Chris running Trailbound for so many years, but just instead of keeping something in a stories and all the notes coming to me, he's like, no, let's get it on a post because then the other women can connect all the way down. So that's why our pants post and a boot post and a bike post might be so that you guys can see other people's opinions that maybe I don't have because I'm 5'3" and I'm doing this. Okay, well, what about you? You're riding different terrain and putting that up. So it's pretty amazing. But I couldn't do it if all these women weren't pushing the norm and riding hard and tagging us and being like, this is awesome, or I suck at this, or I'm trying this. The women in this community are the reason that it's moving forward. And it's really neat to see now that beginner side or that pro side and what is in the middle. How can we keep motivating each other to actually keep pushing and growing? And whether you race and you're going to be a Donner or Hardinger or some of the ones in the East Coast, amazing. Or whether you don't race and you just loaded your bike for the first time by yourself, which is huge. Whether you find boots that fit you, huge. Whether you changed your own oil by yourself, so many of us didn't know how to do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being at the level that you are at that moment. And if you want to grow, great. If you're happy where you're riding, great. We're just super excited for, all of the women just showing up. And the thing is the more we show up, the more we log in, the more we give suggestions to companies. And the more we enter into our races, the more that these companies who have not had a market come from us. We have not been their main source of income. There's companies that their main source of income might come from the snowmobile side. No. Let's make a push. Female dirt bike pants. I want some that fit our hips. So showing up and saying that we're here because we like it too and we want to ride hard, so we need this gear that actually supports us is so important.
Absolutely. You nailed it. Absolutely. Oh man. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for
Oh my
sharing
God.
so much of
No,
this. It's been such a great chat. I know all of you guys have enjoyed it. You're just
thank
such a
you.
pleasure to talk to. I love your vibe. I love everything that you do. I am so inspired and blown away with Trailbound Ladies. And I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for always inspiring, motivating so many ladies, impacting so many.
No, thank you guys. I mean, thank you for being another woman in the industry that has that space for it, and for everybody that has made a comment, has followed along, has sent
Mhm.
anything. Like I love it. I watch Throttle Talk Tuesday every Tuesday. I download it on Spotify when I was gonna be going driving back and forth. Like it's awesome. It's awesome.
Aw, awesome. Well, thank you so much. And thank you to all of you guys for joining in. I had dual sportswoman. She says the best. I agree. This was
Oh, love
such
you,
a great
Sarah.
chat and so much value. You brought so much value.
Oh,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you guys. No,
Okay.
thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Sorry we went over the time. I know you guys are on the East Coast as well.
Yeah, it's all good. Thank you so much. And we will talk to you again soon.
Okay,
Okay. Bye,
bye.
Dylan.